Yo, what's good, y'all? It's your boy Brody. Thank you as always tapping into the broadcast network. And I am super excited about today's topic because I am finally going to be able to give my thoughts and my review of this new Kendrick Lamar album, GMX. And man, I've been sitting on this thing for a week. I've listened to it pretty much nonstop. Every song, front to back, on shuffle, in reverse. And my oh my, what a project. What an album. First off, this is the first fun Kendrick Lamar album. The first fun one. Everything he's ever put out up until this point has had some type of concept, has had some type of theme, has been more of a introspection of what's going on in his life or his past or whatever the case might be. But this album captures a moment in time and allows for us to sit and just revel in the fact that, yo, Kendrick won, man. The real one. And that's what this is. And that's why it's so fun. But at the same time, there's still touches that just make it a Kendrick Lamar album that's so great. So I don't necessarily want to go track by track with this. I just want to talk about certain things that I noticed, certain things that I picked up on as this album went through, and just what vibe and feel that I got from this. Because like I said, I think this is a phenomenal album. I think this is, not to get ahead of myself with this project and putting it somewhere, which I'm going to say for the end, but I think this is one of Kendrick Lamar's best albums. And this isn't like a recency bias thing. This is me hearing everything he's ever put out, pretty much, and then listening to this and putting it in context with everything that's happened, and this is amazing. So, first thing that I noticed about this album is the beats is knocking. I mean, knocking throughout this entire thing. Squabble Up, TV Off, even Peekaboo, GMX, like, these beats ring off so heavy. Like, whether you're in the car, whether you got it on your headphones, like, or just playing it on a speaker in the crib, like, it knocks. And even the things that are slower paced, there's still like a bounce to it. It's still like a vibe to it that's there that's just like, yo, you can feel everything. And he said it in Whacked Out Murals. He said, this album ain't about the double entendres. It ain't about the lyrical miracle, spiritual hero type stuff. This album is for y'all to feel. And what Kendrick wanted y'all to feel was, yo, I am going to do what I want, and I'm going to make a song, an album that just hits. It hits hard. And the thing about all the beats that I mentioned specifically, they're West Coast beats, okay? Squabble Up is hyphy to the max. Like, as soon as I heard it, I thought I was, at an E40 concert. TV Off, Mustard. Like, shout out to DJ Mustard, man, because I love DJ Mustard. A lot of his beats sound the same. I'm just gonna be real. But man, TV Off was a very impressive beat, Mustard. I gotta give you your props on that. I really do. And then something like GMX, Peekaboo, they just have that West Coast feel. Like, it's and it's not West Coast from the standpoint of it being laid back, but it's more West Coast from, yo, this is how we turn up, this is how we have fun. And throughout those records, Kendrick is talking nothing but pure filth, okay? Nothing but pure filth. He is pretty much letting it be known. At this point, he doesn't care who you are. He doesn't give a fuck. If you want to be the best rapper alive, I don't mean the best rapper in the game, the best rapper, and I'll even forget, let's not even just talk about the best rapper alive, the best rapper of all time. These songs are letting you know, hey, we can do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can turn off all this nonsense, whether it's the blogs, the YouTube, people giving their opinions, social media, any of that. We can turn all that stuff off and we could just go head up. And the titles of these songs, it maps it out pretty well as well. Peekaboo, also him being the boogeyman. I just want to throw it out in there because the boogeyman did in fact return with this. So that's how I feel about those songs, because those are, like I said, it's just a certain type of, I'm gonna let my balls hang, do what I want, take risks with these sounds, really embrace where I'm from a sonic perspective, and I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like I love to hear Kendrick over things like that, because it lets you know, sometimes a serious dude want to have fun too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, everything don't have to be serious. Sometimes we just want to talk shit and have fun. And I say that as somebody that I am a pretty serious dude. So I feel him on that. So that's why I love those records so much. And just the little punchlines that's, throughout them, the little sayings, the little things that's in there, like. And shout out to all the West Coast rappers that's on them. Like, for example, how you say his name? Dottie Six? I don't know how you say his name. I'm not from LA or from California. But shout out to him. That Hey Now verse is growing on me a lot. Hitter J3, shout out to him, because his verse on GMX, I love it. I love it. But it's just fun, man. Those records are fun, and they're different than anything Kendrick has ever done. And every time he's done those records in the past, anytime he's done a song like that, it's worked. Backseat Freestyle, Mad City, the list goes on. Even on something like Damn, DNA, Humble, King, like, and that then King Kunta wasn't on Damn. That was on To Pimp a Butterfly. But all those records, like, the things about those songs is that they had a certain bounce to them, they had a certain knock to them. So in a lot of ways, they were really dumbed down, if you think about it, by Kendrick standards, but it was still fun and funky. You know what I'm saying? Like, so next, with that, and like I said before, as I began this review, Kendrick is talking pure filth, complete victory lap on Drake with those songs. We not even thinking about Old Boy at this point. Now let's get to the real introspective stuff. So the thing about the introspective stuff is that I noticed that anything where he was getting deep kind of into where he was really talking from his own perspective, like Whacked Out Murals, Reincarnated, Heart Part 6, and Gloria, those 4 songs specifically, has a Spanish kind of intro vibe to them.
And the singer, Dara Perea,
he only met this woman at a Dodgers game in like a few months ago. Like, but it's so powerful. You know what I'm saying? Her voice is, you feel what she's saying, which wanted me to know, what is she saying? Okay. So I'm not going to tell you exactly what it is that she's saying by translation, only what my coworker told me, because the way that she explained it and just her saying how emotional she felt by what he was saying, or what she was singing, excuse me, it's setting the stage where him and someone else is sitting in a room and they almost had an emotional night before. It was like a cry. It was almost like something happened that left him and whoever he's in this dark room with, whoever he had this night before with, in shambles. And the thing about all these songs is, each of these songs talks about this almost love-hate relationship, right? Whacked Out Murals, he's name dropping people. He's letting it be known, I didn't like that. Even in regards to Snoop, and God bless Snoop. We all love Snoop Dogg. God bless him. Him reposting, like, for Kendrick to say something directly and name drop Snoop, that really says a lot about where Kendrick is at this point in his career, in this point in his life, where he's letting it be known, I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I try to be this revolutionary person And I think for Kendrick's sake in this music, he's been telling everybody, I am not a savior, okay? I am not a savior. I'm a flawed human being. If you're looking at me like I am Jesus reincarnated, that is not what you're getting. I am a flawed human being. However, he understands the power that he has, and he speaks to that on this album as well, where he talks about even something like Reincarnated, where he's taking himself back. And I love the fact that he used the Made Niggas beat from Pac, because that is one of Tupac's, that's one of my favorite Tupac songs. And the thing about that record is Tupac is so angry in that song. Like, it is so angry, and it's not just him being angry, but the Outlaws were angry, and you could tell he was in a place in life where it really was no coming back. And the irony about me saying all that is that Pac he wasn't even around when that video came out. I don't even think he was around when that song came out. Sorry, I wasn't alive during that time, so I'm not all the way sure about dates when music came out. But, you know, it's power in using that beat, and it's even power in him rapping the way that he was, because he did intentionally try to rap like Pac for that reason. Because in the song, he's talking about, he's taking himself back to a place where, you know, he was a R&B, you know, a blues singer during the time in 1947 who went off and you know, went against his family, his father, and said, I want to be a musician. And there's story after story after story after story about this, where people from back then would leave home, because they had a desire to be bigger than where they were from, because they saw where they were from and they fucking hated it, right? But what they did was they went to these places and they got caught up in the life. They got caught up in the drugs, the money, the alcohol, the women, everything. And some of them, which I know for sure, based on some knowledge from A&T, shout out to Aggie Pride, even sold their soul to the devil, you know, to reap the benefits of the gifts that they had. And he took himself back as a blues singer. And then he even took himself back, you know, a blues singer who just loved the life and women and all these other things. And then took himself into a Billie Holiday-ish figure who had all the gifts in the world, but that heroin, man, that heroin, it just got to him. And it's such a sad story, and it's such a sad tale of so many people from that time where they were so gifted, but it was the drugs, you know, it was a lifestyle, it was so many things that almost robbed them of the ability to celebrate their legacy the ways that we should. And so, I'm going on record in terms of Reincarnated and saying that's probably one of Kendrick Lamar's best songs ever. Like, in terms of writing and everything, that's top 5 easy, like, because it's such a powerful song. Heart Part 6, where he's addressing a lot of things that people kind of said throughout this battle about him and Drake, and the fact that he named it the Heart Part 6 when that was Drake's tap out record title is hilarious. And he's talking about, you know, coming up and it not even being about himself, but it's being about seeing everybody around him do great and wanting to be like them. Not because, you know, he didn't think he was a better MC than them or any of these things, but because he had so much love and genuine respect for them that he knew that no matter what happened, if they good, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? And then to take it into the story of okay, now he's gotten to that place, and, you know, now, hey, I'm the biggest star. I'm the person that, you know, everybody's looking to, you know, to elevate everybody else. But creatively, I'm not in that place. You know what I'm saying? And he blamed himself for the TD record, the album not coming out, and I hate that it never did, because I always wish for it. But he addressed it and said, you know what, creatively I wasn't in that place, and now I think he talked about the future and how now things are about ownership. Things is about getting to the money and passing down generational wealth. Because before it was just about, you know, getting myself out there, trying to figure out what it was that I wanted to be as an artist. Now, let's get to this money, okay? And then Gloria, where he's writing this love song about, you know, a woman that he has pretty much a real toxic relationship with. But at the end of the day, he keeps coming back because that is what he relies on. And even at the end when he's saying, my bitch, calling, using that at the end, it's because it's something that, he looks at like, I love her. I want to be with her. I can't live my life without her. But at the end of the day, I can throw her away at any time. And, so yes, that I think it maps out the real introspection and just him reflecting on himself. And I think all four of those records that I just mentioned, Whacked Out Murals, Reincarnated, Heart Part 6, and then Glory, I think all those songs and just the Spanish intro to them, maybe it's Kendrick letting it be known, hey, now I'm not in that same place I was anymore. Now it really is about me. I've done so many things. I've tried to lead everybody. At this point, it's about me, and you know what? Maybe I don't want to rap anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because I think he's been hinting at it for the last couple of albums, especially on Mr. Morale. He hinted at it heavy at the end because I thought that was him saying he might have been done. But then there's other songs on here, Man at the Garden, where it's pretty much him saying he deserves it all, which I think is more of him just giving himself his flowers because it seems like nobody else wants to give him all his flowers, for everything. Dodger Blue, I love. It's a cool vibe. It really is a laid back LA vibe. And I think he's making fun of Drake on this, trying to make fun of the Tootsie slide. Is that how you say it? I don't know. With that, but yeah. And then Luther, which I think is the commercial record for this album that everybody's gonna love, everybody's gonna listen to. But it is a great song. You can never go wrong with a Luther Vandross sample. So, I've spoken on GMX. I've spoken on everything about this. Now, it's time for me to give the Meltzer star rating on this, okay? Now, I think Kendrick Lamar has a lot of great albums. I don't think he's ever put out a bad album. I think Damn to me is my least favorite Kendrick project. Good Kid, Mad City, I think is the greatest one. To Pimp a Butterfly is probably my personal favorite. GMX ranks real high. Real high. I think this is probably my third favorite Kendrick Lamar project that he's ever done. From top to bottom, this is a fun listen. It's only 45 minutes, so it's quick, fast, in a hurry. And there is something on here that you can put on in any room. Any room, okay? With that being said, and I said I'm going to give my Meltzer star rating approval, and that's a wrestling joke, y'all want to understand. I'm going to give this 4.5 out of 5 stars, okay? This album is amazing, okay? And I understand it. Yes, there's a lot of West Coast influence on this album. Yes, he's not really preaching to people on this album. But the music on here, from top to bottom, is absolutely flawless. And I can't be happier. And the crazy part about it, I don't think this is the last project he's going to put out. I think he got one more in the tuck. I think this is something just based on what I heard about the mariachi singer and just kind of hearing the stories based around how this album got put out. I think this was just put together as, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to throw something at the wall. Why not? People, y'all think I can't go to Super Bowl and perform nothing to jam? Here you go. Right here. Here you go right here. The next album is going to be the one where he says some shit. And that's what I see. That's how I see this thing playing out. But like I said, GMX overall, 4.5 out of 5 stars, okay? And just to give y'all some of my favorite songs on this entire thing, Squabble Up is probably my favorite. TV Off, Reincarnated is the absolute best song off this. Peekaboo has grown on me. Dodger Blue. Whacked Out Murals. I don't know. I love all 12 songs, but I think those are probably the ones that I love the most. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. It's been your boy Brody. Thank y'all as always for tapping into the Broadcast Network. Kendrick Lamar,
Thank you, brother.
I'll catch y'all later. Peace.